in the wake of their dramatic capture in Venezuela and extraordinary transfer to the United States. Nicolás Maduro and his wife Celia Flores are now scheduled to appear in federal court in Manhattan, where the full list of criminal charges against them will be formally read and entered by a U.S. district judge in the Southern District of New York, a moment that legal analysts describe as unprecedented in modern history, given that it involves a former head of state brought to justice on foreign soil under allegations of narcotics trafficking, narco-terrorism, and related conspiracy counts, and as preparations intensify within the federal courthouse, where extraordinary security has been deployed to accommodate the high-profile arraignment, prosecutors are expected to present a superseding indictment that details years of investigations linking Maduro, Flores, and senior members of the Venezuelan government to the systematic facilitation of drug shipments into the United States, a case built on intelligence gathered by U.S. law enforcement agencies and international partners in what officials describe as one of the most complex transnational criminal investigations ever undertaken. And while the indictment specifics have been sealed pending the arraignment, sources familiar with the matter say it includes allegations that Maduro used state resources and Venezuelan military infrastructure to protect and enable narcotics networks, shield traffickers from prosecution, launder proceeds through front companies, and retaliate against officials who sought to cooperate with foreign authorities, charges that Maduro's legal team has already dismissed in public statements as politically motivated and illegitimate under international law, asserting sovereign immunity and vowing to challenge the jurisdiction of U.S. courts over a former Venezuelan president. Arguments that constitutional scholars note will likely become a central focus of pretrial motions once the arraignment occurs and counsel is formally appointed or enters appearances on behalf of the defendants, and as the nation and world watch, members of the U.S. Attorney's Office are coordinating with the U.S. Marshals Service and Department of Homeland Security to ensure the proceedings are conducted safely and without incident, with the government requesting that hearings be closed to the public due to the sensitive nature of the evidence and ongoing security concerns, a request that defense attorneys may contest on constitutional grounds regarding public access to judicial proceedings, raising further legal debate about transparency versus security in high-profile foreign criminal cases. And while the New York courthouse prepares, commentary from international law experts underscores the historic nature of this appearance, noting that although former heads of state have been indicted abroad in rare cases, none in recent decades have been apprehended through direct military action and brought to trial in the United States, creating a legal scenario filled with untested questions about extradition law, the application of universal jurisdiction, and the interplay between international treaties and domestic criminal statutes, all of which are expected to be raised in pretrial hearings that will follow the arraignment. Scheduled officials have confirmed that both Maduro and Flores will be advised of their rights under U.S. law and given the opportunity to enter pleas before the court, a moment that is likely to be broadcast globally and dissected by legal commentators as a symbolic crossroads between efforts to combat transnational crime and the foundational principles of due process. And as the foreign policy community in Washington, D.C. weighs in, some Republican lawmakers have applauded the impending court appearance as a critical step toward accountability for years of alleged abuses and criminality, while others question whether the U.S. judicial system is the appropriate forum for adjudicating acts committed in another sovereign nation, a debate mirrored by international diplomats in capitals from Bogotá to Brussels who are closely monitoring the proceedings for implications on international norms and bilateral relations. And against this complex backdrop, the appearance of Nicolás Maduro and Celia Flores in Manhattan federal court will mark not only a pivotal moment in the U.S. government's case but also a flashpoint in the ongoing global conversation about justice, sovereignty, and the reach of law across borders that will almost certainly shape legal and diplomatic discourse for years to come.